how to get brands to send you free gear as a creator. This is you, and you're gonna have a YouTube channel anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 subscribers, and you're gonna get an email from some brand reaching out with a collaboration. They're gonna offer you some type of piece of gear anywhere from $20 all the way up to $500, and that gear is gonna be for free. In exchange, they're gonna want some type of piece of content. Then the gear is going to come in. You're going to be crazy excited. You're going to make a YouTube video talking about that gear, and that's it. You get to keep the piece of gear. You could sell it if you want to, but it's your piece of gear. That is your payment for the video. Honestly, this is a great way to grow the channel and support your channel early on. One of the motivating factors for many YouTubers starting out, especially in the filmmaking space, is to get that free gear. We're constantly buying gear as filmmakers, so it sounds like a dream come true having brands send you lighting gear, lenses, cameras, etc. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how you can attract brands early on. I'm also going to talk about why I have stopped taking gifted collaborations. If you're a YouTuber or if you're a content creator, stick around because I'm going to cover a lot in this video. So let's start off with the basics, right? How can you get brands to start sending you free products? The first thing is you need a YouTube. YouTube is actually a crazy space because a ton of sales come from YouTube. Yes, a lot of people are on Instagram, but YouTube, people are more likely to buy things. So that's why a lot of brands want YouTubers to do videos. I would recommend starting out doing YouTube videos, and then I would also make videos on the gear that I currently have. And that's how I started my YouTube channel. Whatever gear I had, I made a video on that. Some of my most popular videos were like the top 4 best GH5 lenses. Videos on the gear that you already have are really helpful because people are probably in the same scenario as you, figuring out which lenses, which camera to buy. So the trick is to have brands start to notice you. And for example, I did this video on tube lights. It was like a DIY video on tube lights, and it did really well. And actually a ton of lighting companies reached out to me. So before you reach out to brands, you want to make sure that you have a video that has performed well. Now I can email brands that I want to work with, and I can say, hey, I made this video here. I can do the same for your product. That's when you want to reach out over email. Typically, you could just go to their website, go to the contact, and a lot of them have like marketing and an affiliate area where you can reach out and you can kind of pitch them yourself. Reaching out is a really good way to speed up this process and start working with those brands as soon as possible. There is one secret to this that all brands really want. And that one secret is they want to see proof of concept. That's things like views on a video, engagement, tracking the number of clicks your link got in your description, conversions on an affiliate link. The more proof that you can provide this brand that you can actually sell their product, this is going to solidify that brand deal for you. So here's a good example of conversions, right? So I did a video on tapeless builds. So in that video, I talk about the Immersion PowerPlay RC to go on top of your tapeless build. Just in the last 30 days, I have sold 16 of those. And that got me about $75 in revenue. And I got a ton of clicks on that link. I can screenshot this and show potential brands, potential clients, what my YouTube channel can do with a video. So this is really helpful data. And it's really easy. Like you can even use websites like Bitly. Now is a good time to talk about dedicated videos versus just highlighting your product. A dedicated video is basically going to be an entire video on that product. So if someone sends me this speaker right here, I'm going to have to make an entire YouTube video talking about this speaker. I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to take it out in the real world. I'm going to see how it does if I get it wet. I'm going to do all sorts of things. It's probably going to be like a 5 to 8 minute YouTube video. If you're passionate about the product and you enjoy the product, it doesn't hurt to make a long video like that. There's also like highlighted segments. So this is just a small 20 to 40 second ad in the middle of your video, and it can be integrated really smoothly. I could actually do one right now. I'm actually being lit by this Aputure 100X, and I actually really like this light because it is bi-color. So if I just hit this button right here, I can change the color temperature, and look at that. And we're back at 5600. So this light is really diverse and it's really small and compact. If you want to pick one up, it's linked down below. See how simple that was? It's a very quick little ad, but it is organic. Deliverables, you want to be clear what you're going to deliver. Are you delivering a dedicated video? Are you just going to highlight the product in your YouTube video? Or are you going to create shorts like Instagram Reels and TikTok? On my podcast, the Cinepacks podcast, we had a few people talk about branded collaborations. Moody Darkroom actually mentioned how he was able to get a ton of lighting equipment in the beginning for his photography with just some brands reaching out.
Yeah, I definitely think YouTube is the best platform for getting to work with brands. Like more brands will be willing to work with you if you don't have to have like a huge presence on YouTube. But YouTube's by far the smallest social that I have. But it's also still the one that gets me brand stuff. And people that are on YouTube, they're kind of on YouTube to either like learn something or because they're genuinely invested in it.
Yeah.
Versus on TikTok or Instagram, it's kind of like, oh, cool.
Another tip I would say is look for small brands, because smaller brands that are less known, because if you reach out to Aperture and some of these bigger brands, it's going to be a little bit harder. You're going to have unique work that stands out, or you're going to have a connection to get in there. But if you reach out to some smaller brands, like I reached out when I first started to Glide Gear, I made them some really cool content for their Snowy Cam. There's always new companies popping up that need content. So I'm editing the video right now, but I wanted to switch up and kind of just talk about why I kind of stopped accepting these brand collaborations. I actually started getting burnt out because I was accepting every email that I got because I didn't want to miss out on the free gear. And I found it hard to keep up following through with my promises to actually make them that content. And this was also hard because sometimes you get gear and you don't like it, and then they're expecting you to make a video and they want you to talk highly of this gear. So there's a few things that I would say. One thing is you can start asking for compensation in addition to the gear. So let's say it's a $400 piece of gear. You can also ask for $500 on top of that. You have to think about how long it's actually taking you to make this YouTube video, right? If they can't offer you compensation, they can also set you up with their affiliate program. With physical products, you can probably only get around like 5 to 15% for the physical product, but that's still better than nothing, because if you're making them sales with your link, you're going to get a percentage of all the sales that you make them. So this plus the free product isn't that bad, because if your link performs well, you're going to make money regardless. So it's a win-win. Another thing you could do is just ask for more expensive gear. If the piece of gear is maybe upwards $1,000, $1,500, you might not need compensation or an affiliate link. You might just be happy with that piece of gear instead of any type of compensation. This really comes down to knowing your value, how many subscribers you have, how well the video is going to perform. In the beginning, I think it's worth just accepting that free gear and creating some content that you can show other brands. For me, I was getting burnt out making tons of gear videos. I still do accept some branding collaborations, but it really depends if it's a product I really like and what type of terms there are. So if you guys have any questions down below, let me know. I've been doing this for a while. I've kind of have done like a handful of brand deals and whatnot. But I would recommend checking out our podcast too with the Le Capture and Moody Darkroom. Those are really good podcasts that just talk about, two creators that have really done a lot of brand deals and things like that. I'm Tyler Casey with Cinepacks. All the links are down below. I'll catch you guys next time. I cut my finger. Look at that. It's not focusing. There we go. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.